Today I'm going to be teaching you guys how to do this teleportation effect in After Effects, so let's get right into it. So I have these clips I already inserted into After Effects, and right here I got my clean plate, and then these next three are just the three positions that I want to teleport into. I just made like a little jumping motion, but this is what it looks like without the effect on there. First thing I'm going to do is mask out the first subject that I want to teleport. So I'll duplicate this first clip, and then I will right click on it, go to time and click freeze frame, and now this frame is frozen, and I'll just mask this guy out. And there we go, I have him masked out. Then I'm gonna bring up the mask tab by double tapping M on my keyboard while that layer is selected, and I'll just increase the feather by 6 or something like that. Now I'll just drag this over, and with Control Shift D split my layer and delete the remainder on the right. So now I've got this. I'm going to pre-compose this, move all attributes into the new composition, click OK, and I'm going to create another mask, and I'm going to keyframe it in so that it looks like I'm actually teleporting. So come up here to where that rectangle tool is, click on it, and then click Q until you get that circle. And now just create a little mask in the middle, open up my mask tab, and on the first frame create a mask path. And you know, you can make this as small or as big as you want. I'll just leave it about there for now. And then on this last frame, just expand this mask to reveal all of this guy like that. And then of course you can add on some additional points to help it fully reveal. Easy ease those keyframes, open up the graph editor, and then play with the graph editor until you get something that you like. Then of course play with the feather. Now I'm going to pre-compose this layer again, move all attributes into the new composition, and add on some sapphire shake here, and turn on motion blur, set the amplitude to 0.3, put the frequency on 3. I'm just kind of eyeballing it so we get some natural shake like that, and that's starting to look better there. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pre-compose these two layers together. So the freeze framed keyframe that I just masked out, and then of course the frame where I'm actually in here, pre-compose those two layers, then duplicate that layer. And now I'm going to create another mask on this second layer here, and I'm going to create a mask path and keyframe this to go around wherever I'm at. Repeat the process, bring this over my entire body, and add as many points as you need. Of course, easy ease that again, and play with the graph editor if you like, just to get some more accuracy. And then as I slowly go back down, we're just going to bring these points in a bit closer, and just split the layer right around there and delete everything on the right of it. So now on this layer, this is where you can add on any sort of displacement effect that you want. So there's one called chromatic displacement that I recommend by Red Giant, but I do have sapphire distort, prism displacement, displacer pro, and a built-in displacement map. So I've got tons of tools in my arsenal. So I'm going to start off by actually just adding turbulent displace and playing with that till I get something I like. And so right around here, as soon as I'm going to jump into the clip, I'm going to set some keyframes, so for amount and size, and just make that whatever, it doesn't really matter. And then to improve that as well, you can add on some mask feathering just to help it blend more. And then on the last frame, you can bring it back down to 0 for amount, and then size at 100. And now in the first frame, I'll keyframe evolution at 0. Then on the last frame, have it go through 2 full rotations, so just change that value to 2 from 0. Now play with those keyframes until you get something you really like, and as of right now I have something that looks like this. And now before I add anything else, I'm going to pre-compose both of these layers together and duplicate the layer and add on another mask, doing the same thing just with a circle, animate the mask path starting from the beginning, and then keyframing it just like we did on all the other ones. Now I'm going to add on sapphire distort. And yeah, you can do pretty much anything that you want here. So as you can see right here, that looks really trippy. It's kind of creating this orb that does blend pretty decently in with the background because of the feather. And yeah, I'm just going to start playing around with these keyframes and values. Every clip is going to be different. And now I have something that looks like this. I just set the amount on the sapphire distort to about 0.22. So now I'm just going to make some adjustments on the background layer on this first clip right here. So I'll duplicate it and create another mask and then kind of replicate that effect just to help create the best transition possible. And there we go. Now I have something that looks like that and is starting to really come together. And now what I have on the screen are some assets from actionvfx.com. These are called spell hits. I don't remember if these were free or not, but I'll just leave that link down in the description if you guys want to use those. Pretty good asset, and I'm sure you could find something just like it on YouTube for free. So once I drag that on, I can either set it to add or screen. I'll use add, and then just kind of time this however you think looks best. So I'll just scale this up, rotate it either that way or that way. I think that looks better. But now essentially what I'm going to do is pre-compose all of these layers together and then kind of repeat that process again. So I'll duplicate this layer, come up here to this circle mask and keyframe the mask again. So I'll set a keyframe for our mask path there, add some more points and keyframe it to full size. And this time you have to make sure to get all of the green spell hit into it. And then of course, if you guys want to change the color of the spell hit, you can just add on a tritone effect and then change the mid-tone to whatever you like, as you can see, and you can get some really cool stuff. So I think I'll change it to a red. I really like how that looks. Hey, yo. And then right around here, I'll just kind of bring these in a little bit closer. Easy to use those keyframes. As always, open up the graph editor for some more accuracy on the way that everything's moving. And now I can trim this section just to match the length. So I'll just delete this little bit there. And on one of these first masks that I made, I'm just going to add on another tritone effect to help everything blend together. So I'll change it to one of those reds, and then right around where the spell hit hits, I'm going to bring it to around there, increase the feather a bit more just so it blends better. Set a keyframe for blend with original, then on either end of it, bring it back to 100% like this. And now as you can see, everything blends just a bit better. And then now once you've pre-composed this layer, move all attributes into the new composition, you can add on another displacement effect. And as you can see, that looks absolutely crazy if I don't change any values. But yeah, with this mask, it's actually looking really good. So now it's just about keyframing that in. So that's one effect, sapphire distort, that you can use. You could also use prism displacement. Now this is going to change the color, give a lot more color variation. Another one is distort chroma. That one looks really sick actually. And then of course, play with the blur lens on any or all of those effects to also get some cool looks. Now, once I adjust the chroma effect to my liking, I'm going to add on the heat wave effect from the Red Giant Universe plugin. And this effect really helps sell the teleportation because it creates some realistic heat ripples that really blend well with the mask. What I'm really going to focus on now is setting the background and foreground colors to match each other with the effect to make it look real. So keyframing in some lumetri color, tritone, and an exposure effect to create a flash when the spell hit is at its highest brightness. And with those small adjustments, it makes a huge difference. Now it's really all about repeating those steps as many times as you want and adding in your own sauce in the effect to make it look best in your scene. If you guys are enjoying these more in-depth tutorials, please let me know in the comments and like the video so I know I'm not making dog water tutorials. I appreciate you guys very much. God bless and peace.